Hello again, everyone, and welcome to LanguageCaster.com, the football language podcast for learners and teachers of English. I'm Damien, and I'm based here in London, where the weather has recently been very wet indeed. What is the weather like where you are? I wonder what the weather is like in Tokyo in Japan, where of course the other member of the LanguageCaster team, Damon, is based. Now, recently here at LanguageCaster, we have posted some football language podcasts on the phrase bundle home. And we also looked at some of the language from the recent Copa Libertadores final, which of course Fluminense won. We have also posted some new phrases on our site, including the toffees and the phrase to be at it. Just come along to our site to find these language learning resources. And on today's podcast, we will be explaining the word fortress. What do you think this means in football?
Bạn đang nghe languagecaster.com.
What football have you been watching recently? Have you watched any of the Champions League or maybe the new WSL season in England? That's the Women's Super League, of course. Or maybe you saw the recent Clásico in Spain, in which Jude Bellingham scored a brace, including a very late goal, to defeat Barcelona. Or maybe that crazy game of football earlier this week between Tottenham and Chelsea. Hopefully your team has been doing well. My favourite team, Tottenham, are currently second in the Premier League, despite that 4-1 loss to Chelsea, while Damon's favourite side, Liverpool, are currently in third place, so we are both really happy. And so on this short podcast, we will be looking at a phrase that describes when a team is playing really well, and in particular, when they are playing well at home. So we'll be explaining the term fortress.
Hola a todos, estáis escuchando languagecaster.com.
The meaning of the word fortress is a big building, or maybe a group of buildings that protects people against an attack. It's like a castle, and it defends the local population. In football, we use the word fortress to describe a stadium where a home team rarely lose or that they win lots of their home matches. So, if a team wins lots of games at home, we can say that their home stadium can be described as a fortress. Sometimes we might hear the word fortress beside the name of the stadium. So, for example, Fortress Anfield describes the Liverpool home stadium while the home team are on an unbeaten run. I am not sure, however, that we say Fortress Etihad to describe the amazing Manchester City home record of 20 plus games unbeaten at home. Maybe we would say that City have turned their home into a fortress rather than use the sponsor's name. However, I did see the name of the Bayern Munich stadium, the Allianz, mentioned alongside the word fortress when describing their amazing 29-game unbeaten home run in the Champions League. That's 28 wins and 1 draw. If the word fortress is used to describe a stadium, then it also suggests that it will be difficult for the away team to win there. But if they do win, then the verb breach is often used, as this means to break through a strong defence, such as a fortress. So, in the following example, we can see that Leeds defeated Liverpool at Fortress Anfield. They caused an upset by winning away. Leeds breach Fortress Anfield as Liverpool suffer first EPL home loss involving Virgil van Dijk, and that came from fannation.com back in October 2022. Here are some more examples with the word fortress, and this shows managers wanting to make their home stadiums into a fortress, and they use the verbs create a fortress, turn the stadium into a fortress. So number 1, and this is from The Telegraph in 2019, Marco Silva has spoken of his desire to create a Goodison Park fortress so he can take comfort from the increased security in the old stadium. So Goodison Park, of course, is the Everton football ground, and back in 2019, Marco Silva wanted to create a Goodison Park fortress. Remember, 2 weeks ago, Damon posted a podcast on Everton and their nickname, the Toffees. Number 2, and this is from this year, and it's from Reuters, and it's about Aston Villa. Emery has turned Villa Park into a fortress. So this headline from Reuters explains how the Spanish manager of Aston Villa, Unai Emery, has made the home stadium of Villa Park a really, really difficult place to win at. In fact, Villa have an amazing unbeaten record there that stretches back over 10 games. Don't forget that you can find out more about the word fortress and hundreds more football language phrases by coming along to our football language glossary here at languagecaster.com.
Je luistert naar languagecaster.com.
Okay, if you have any questions or comments, then drop us an email at admin@languagecaster.com. And you can also look out for us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram, while we will be posting some material on our new YouTube page more or less every week. So come along and say hello. We also have a football language forum where you can ask and answer any questions you have on the language of football. And recently we've had questions around the phrases be equal to, steady the ship, and an emphatic finish. I love that phrase, an emphatic finish. Take a look at these posts, do some of the quizzes that are there, add a comment or a question, or simply say hi.
Vous écoutez languagecaster.com.
Yes, you are listening to Languagecaster, and that message was from a French football fan. Don't forget, there's a transcript for this short podcast with lots of vocabulary support. If you look at the posts on our site, you can see that we explain lots of the meanings of these words in the transcript. So just come along and have a look. Okay, that's it for this podcast in which we looked at the word fortress, which of course means a stadium where the home team rarely loses. Let us know if you hear any of the phrases or language that we've used on today's show, in any language of course, and don't forget to look out for our predictions on our forum and enjoy all of the football this weekend. We'll see you again soon when we'll be looking at more football language. Bye bye.